fireworks aren't going to go off. Hey,
Yeah, 'tis the season.
God, you throw me off every time.
Okay, blame me. Don't, no. I object to this, sir. That is slanderous, and I object to that accusation.
It's not
Good evening, folks.
It's not slander.
Welcome to Johnny Hellcat's channel. I'm Hit Camel. And this is Pow-wow stream number 19, Capitalism. Am I right? And here's your host, Johnny Hellcat.
Yeah, thanks, Camel.
Oh my god, it's Johnny! Oh my god, yay!
And manning the band is De La Haste.
I fired the band. Sorry, guys.
Turns out it wasn't in the budget.
That's exactly it, guys. I mean, it was until I spent it all on hookers.
Well, you know what? That's accounting's problem now, so.
That's how I see it. See, this is why you make such a cool boss, Camel.
Oh. How's it going, guys?
Not so bad, you?
I'm doing okay.
It's been a day.
Interesting.
So,
on top of it, apparently, YouTube won't let me just tweet out the show.
Really?
Apparently not.
Fucking dicks.
Yeah. Because I usually wait until like either right before or right after going live to tweet it out.
Hmm.
So, just another kick in the balls today. Am I right, Johnny?
Absolutely. Oh boy.
So you know what? I'll cheat and I'll just retweet Johnny's tweet.
There you go.
No, today was an adventure in the world of customer service. That is Walmart. I went out and ventured out into the world, into the wild, to Walmart because Johnny was nice enough, was a good enough friend. He bought me a computer monitor. Short-term loan, let's call it, because I wholly intend on paying him back next Tuesday or the Tuesday after. But
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a month.
Yeah, the second Tuesday of next week. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening here. No, but yeah, he would help me out. Got me a new monitor because my old one went completely out. Just couldn't use it. Couldn't even use it to look up Pornhub. So completely useless.
I should say.
And we thought we were going to be slick about it, so that way we didn't have to give each other any personal information, keep it completely anonymous, internet style. So Johnny thought, I'll just go order it on Walmart.com. You got a Walmart in your area, right? Yeah, everyone does. It's fucking Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to Walmart.com. He puts in, I have to give him, the local store, so he knows my general area now, right?
Yeah.
He makes the order. I go up there. He sends me a screenshot with the order number. I go to type it in. It's giving me technical error messages
I called
at the pickup site.
He called. Prior, and I'm like, okay, what does he need to pick this up? And they go, well, he would need your information. And I go, well, problem is, I'm in Montana. He's down there. So what would he need? Because I'm paying for this thing. What does he need to pick it up? And she goes, "Oh, just have the order number and your name, and then you should be fine."
So yeah, I go there. I go to pick it up. I type in the order number into the pickup tower. They got all these lockers and roads now where they put this shit for you to come pick it up. And so I'm sitting there thinking, like, all right, I'm getting these technical errors. It's right there in one of these lockers. It's like within feet of me. end up having to get someone to come, explain. It's like, hey, man, this thing's not working. What's going on here? The
I
first lady I talked to, the first lady that I come up to, she's like, oh, well, she's not wearing a mask, first of all. Everyone's all getting crazy about the mask. She's wearing a face shield.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like the full-on, like, plastic fake shield, like she's about to, like, operate. But, that's another thing I noticed while I was there. Like, not even half the people in the store wearing a face mask. The ones that were, maybe half of them were wearing them correctly. It's like, yeah, I'm truly in Walmart right now. These motherfuckers don't even know how to wear a mask. But, yeah, so she tells me, oh, well, there's possibility of rain in the forecast, so it could be, like, affecting... I was like, is it going to rain inside? Why is it affecting your equipment? But, she was a nice enough lady, even though she was kind of stupid. And I didn't hold it against her. So she gets somebody else, to check for me to see if it's there or not. They can't pull up the order. I give them Johnny's name and everything. Come to find out, he used part of his screen name. So I'm telling him, yes, the name on the pickup is Johnny Elcat?
Elcat, yeah.
Elcat, yeah. I'm like, I guess that sounds close enough to real. But, yeah, they can't find the order. It's not in the system. So he tries to order it again, because they told me flat out, it's like, we've had a bunch of fraud. So it could have been just the system kicked it out because it thought, hey, why is this dude from Montana ordering shit in Oklahoma? Fair enough. Well, like, yeah, that's a good question. We were kind of hoping to get around that. So he orders it again. I'm sitting in there like for 20 minutes just people watching. And my God, the humanity. He orders it again. It kicked it out like almost immediately. Like it didn't even show up in their system while I was on the phone with him. He's like, "Yep, here's the order number. Here's the order confirmation, and it's gone." It's like that South Park episode.
They almost immediately.
Yeah. So I was like, I go home, because we figure probably him to call. They tell us like, you'll probably call someone at Walmart.com because there's nothing we can do about it. So, he's got other errands to run. I go back home. I get on I still got him on Discord on my phone, talking to him while on hold with Walmart.com. And I lost count. How many times did we call them today, John? Or did I call them today, Johnny?
I believe we're at 4.
Were we at 4? I thought it was 5. Maybe it was 5 people I talked to 4 different occasions.
No, you're right. It was 5. It was 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Because one was like back to back.
Yeah, the first time I end up calling him, I get this dude Ben, and not to profile or anything, but I'm pretty sure Ben was a white dude. And Ben, he seemed nice enough, but also one of those things where I'm not quite sure he knows what he's doing, because he told us, we explained, hey man, this isn't a fraudulent deal. Matter of fact, he's on the line right now. You can't hear him. He can't hear you. But both of you can hear me. We literally played a game of telephone on the telephone. And I give them Johnny's information, just pass it along. Explain to Johnny what he's saying to me. He says, all right, well, I think we got this sorted out. Give it about 30 minutes for the system to reset. Place the order, then you should be good to go. So we wait, like, over 30 minutes. What, 30, 35, you say? Roughly?
Take.
Yeah. Just to be on the safe side. Place the order again, and it didn't even have to go to Walmart. It kicked it out immediately again. And it felt a lot like when I tried to order my new cell phone earlier this year. It's like, why are you making it so hard to take my money?
Wow.
I give you this, you give me that. It's fucking simple.
Oldest deal in the world.
Anyway, call him back again. Get a different dude. I don't for the life of me remember this gentleman's name. But again, to profile, he sounded like a black dude, and he did sound like he knew what he was doing. And he says, "Oh, well, more of the same, pretty much. We think we got it figured out. Try and wait. What did he say? 40 minutes, didn't he? He went even further.
Yeah, it started off at 30, and because it was about 3:30 my time, or no, it was 2:30 my time.
Yeah.
So 3:30 yours, and then when we were able to try it, it jumped from, "Hey, you can pick this up today," to, "Hey, you can get that tomorrow."
So we think we got it figured out again. Johnny tried. We wait the 40 minutes this time. We're getting to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon my time, or 5 o'clock in the afternoon my time, and order it again for the 4th time in less than 4 hours. Almost immediately kicks it out.
Wow.
So, to make this long story just a little bit longer, I end up calling Walmart.com like 5 times a day, talk to 6 different people, one of whom I'm pretty sure English was her second language because it was getting later in the day and it seemed like nobody wanted to pick up. And at one point, I think in between orders 3 and 4, I think my girlfriend looked at me while I was talking to Johnny on Discord. She goes, "Why don't you just have him PayPal it to you?" Oh no! At first she said, "Why don't you have him just wire you the money?" I was like, "Wire me the money?" She goes, "Yeah, they got a Western Union and Walmart." I was like, "So you want me to ask him to spend money, to send money to me, to buy a computer monitor? That's like that doesn't that doesn't sound cool. Doesn't sound kosher to me."
That was between 2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3. Pardon me.
It was near the beginning.
It was early in the day. And so finally, we call them. I got off the phone with them the 5th time, the last time, and the English is the second language speaker. Apparently she worked in the grocery side. She didn't even work. I'm like, well, this is the same number. I've called 3 different times already, and I pressed the same buttons, on the dialer to get to the right department. Why am I talking to someone in grocery? So she transferred me to a nice lady of ambiguous vocal race or origin. And the first question out of her mouth was, "Well, did he change anything on his account? Payment information, billing information, I asked Johnny, I was like, "You change anything?" He's like, "I changed my name." He took off the H. So apparently Johnny's Walmart.com account's the same as his YouTube account. It's Johnny Hellcat. Go buy him something nice. So yeah, he took the H off to make it sound like a somewhat plausible surname of Hellcat. And that's what fucked us up because it put his account in a lockdown for 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I asked John, did it tell you that it was going to do that? When he's like, no. And so I'm still on the phone with the lady. I was like, yeah, you might want to jot this down. Let us know next time that someone wants to change some shit on their profile that they won't be able to buy anything for a day. Yeah, we can avoid this in the future.
Yeah, I would definitely call that useful information. I would love to have that prior to said situation.
So, to make the long story just a little bit longer, my girlfriend was right. Ended up having Johnny PayPal her the money, and we went and bought the monitor.
Ouch.
But don't tell her I said that because she's already said I told you so.
Said what?
Exactly. This is going to be just like Bogota. We're not going to talk about it.
What's Bogota?
Huh?
Exactly.
Never heard of it. Never happened.
But while we're here, I've pulled up a couple of things. Like we have our trusty IMDb and Indians.com.
Oh.
And I had pulled up I saw this tweet from Time, because who doesn't like that magazine that was once sold for $1? Wasn't that? No, that was Newsweek. Or was it Time? See, that's how irrelevant they are. I don't even know if they're the ones that were so cheap they got sold for $1.
Tomato.
But yeah, it's an ideas/business article. Corporations say Black Lives Matter. Here's what they need to do to show they mean it. So I ask you, gentlemen, shall we delve into corporate BLM, Indians.com, or IMDb first?
Well, before we do that, have you guys heard anything about the new season of The Boys?
I heard they were getting approved for a second season.
I saw the trailer today. It's coming out the 4th of September.
Nice.
Well, one of these days I'll get around to watching season 1, because I don't have... was Amazon Prime's that one on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to wait till it's out on a different platform. A totally legal platform. Don't worry, YouTube.
Oh, well, I just planned on seeing if anybody I knew had an Amazon Prime account, and just like, hey, man, why don't I come over and we can binge watch a cool TV show?
I don't got that luxury.
Well, I don't have that many friends, so how much of a luxury do you really think it is?
Well, clearly you got the right ones if they got Amazon Prime for you to mooch off of.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know who I know that has Amazon Prime. I got to figure that shit out first.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
somehow I gotta work that into casual conversation.
No.
So, have you seen that new Amazon Prime show?
Well, as soon as you figure out which one of your friends has Amazon Prime, dump them. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
No, you don't touch... God damn it, dog. Get out. Out.
Okay, dog. I was going to say, I ain't touching anything. Well, at the moment.
No, my girlfriend's
I was going to
dog
ask Johnny where he put the camera and how he managed to get to Oklahoma without me knowing it.
No, my girlfriend's dog is digging through the cat litter like a coke fiend.
I'm glad to know that mine aren't the only ones that do that, because I seriously thought they had a problem.
Oh, yeah.
He mainly does it when he's like extremely nervous, and especially since it's almost 4th of July. We got the neighbors shooting fireworks off like it's end of the world.
Yeah, I'm worried about that, because I think this is the first year of me having like the big dogs. So for the 4th of July anyway. So that's gonna be fun.
I will be right back.
The town that I live in, they have a like city ordinance saying like no fireworks, but a bunch of assholes live here too. So, but the next town over, they don't have an ordinance at all about it. Like, you can have people shooting off fireworks in the middle of February, just cause. You guys don't have anything like that, though, do you, Della? Like, is there a Canadian Independence Day where you guys shoot off fireworks and like drink maple syrup or something?
We do ours on the 1st.
Of what?
July. Canada Day is the 1st of July. So that's when we do our fireworks, get drunk, celebrate, have parades, and music concerts and all that sort of shit.
Ah.
Hey, Becca, how's it going?
Just had to be 3 days before Americans, huh?
Well, I mean...
Trying to steal our thunder. I see how it is.
No, because you have a pre-party before the main party. It's a warm-up party before the real event, before the main event.
Did you hear that, Johnny?
What do we got going on?
We finally got one of them to admit that Canada's not real.
I did not admit any such thing. How dare you? I expect this shit from Johnny, but you? Oh, wait, no. Strike that. Opposite. Okay, we're good.
I was going to say, like, wait a second.
We got the right people here?
Right people, wrong order.
I'm the diplomat. I know exactly how to talk to people. Like,
I know how to talk to people too. I also know how I choose to talk to people.
Yeah, Johnny knows how to talk to people unless it involves introductions, and then he just falls flat.
That's why he's got you.
you know, it helps if because I had an intro going, and then you had to go and trip me up.
Oh, here we go. We're back to blaming Camel. The intro's over, man.
See, I'm starting to understand why Terry is confusing me with Jack. I mean, do you see the way that I'm getting abused here?
Yeah, I'm having trouble telling fucking Johnny and Polly apart.
Hey, Johnny Bonsaco's in the chat. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Becca, nice to see you. I saw that you tweeted out the link earlier for the stream. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
YouTube wasn't letting me do it, so
Very classic.
yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of Koof related news on the Indians.com. Top story for today: COVID-19 in Indian country. Got a whole lot of, let's see. Well, no, okay, that's not a story. That's just a bunch of updates from different tribes. Okay.
A few powwows changed. Oh, there's a statue that came down.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, that's a statue in that's a statue that dude shot those people at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one where he was like pushing. They're trying to. I think they were trying to topple that one, and he was pushing some folks around, and like there was one chick that was like trying to block him and push him around.
Right.
He throws her to the ground. Like people come after him.
And then,
smack him with a skateboard. I think one of them had a knife, and he pulled out a gun and shot one of them.
And they officially took it down then.
I have to admit, I don't know much about the Pueblo tribe and the Spanish conquest there, so take that one down. I don't care.
Yeah,
my whole thing with the statue removals is like you guys are just going and tearing them down as a mob, as opposed to like either voting for people who will remove them through the process, or running yourself on a platform that includes taking down the statue, to where you have a mandate from at least a majority of the people, and not just the mob that you're standing around in.
I had that very discussion just a few days ago over on the Twitter machine.
Because to me, this these people, these statues. If you want to say that these statues were put up, like the Confederate statues and whatnot, you can say, hey, those were put up in like the 1920s, the 1970s. This was a middle finger to civil rights. Okay, fine, that's understandable and everything. Reasonable to me, even. But don't just sit there and rip the statue down like it's like you're toppling Saddam Hussein. You guys aren't liberating people. You're the fucking Taliban at that point. So just if you want to do it, fine. Just do it democratically. Use the franchise that you have, because it's fucking 2020, and take it down that way, and I'm cool with it. Whatever. You don't even have to put it in a fucking museum at that point. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I found Scribe's favorite thing. A list.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say redheads.
That's everyone's favorite thing.
Not his
Dr. Pepper.
Not his absolute.
There's a list. There's a list. I'm sure. I just don't know what order they fall in.
So let's see. It's a list of 10 people whose statues should replace Columbus.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time? I caught something to replace Columbus.
10 peoples whose statues should replace Columbus. I can almost
Leif
guarantee you,
Erikson?
I can almost guarantee you that I will probably not know any of these people.
I'm doubting he's on the list. So.
Um,
Becca says that according to the Attorney General, 500 investigations are currently happening regarding the riots and the statue crap. I went to public school, so my math skills aren't that great, but 500 sounds like a lot.
with all the
It's
riots or
fine.
just specific ones?
So, but yeah, let's hear these 10 people that should replace Columbus. I'm interested now. Let's see.
Vine Deloria Jr.
Who? No, seriously, who?
That, you beat me by a second. That's why I was laughing.
Let's see.
That name means absolutely nothing to me. Who is this person?
Standing Rock. It's hard to chronicle Vine Deloria in terms of his importance to the country and to Native America.
Wait, it's a dude?
Apparently,
I thought that was a chick's name.
he was a thinker, an architect of change. There's no comma. It's not a period.
He was a thinker, architect of change. That sounds like sounds pretty heavy.
There's no verb there. My God. I should just send this one sentence to Scribe just to give him a stroke again. His eyes will just revolt against his body.
He won't be able to sleep all night.
Okay, it says it here. He was a thinker, period, an architect of change, period, and comma. Like, you can't...
What? The actual...
Okay, you don't even have to tell Scribe to give it. I think I smell toast right now, dude.
No, it gets worse. And, comma, always, comma, a writer, period. Oh, my God.
I've never heard of this person, but if he was any of those things, I'm fairly confident he would slap the person who just wrote that.
Fuck that. He'd take their head and bang it on the wall a couple times.
Until they started smelling toast.
And then some.
Let's see. People recognized that what Crazy Horse did was for the best for the...
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. People recognized that what Crazy Horse did was for the best and was for the people, Deloria wrote. When Crazy Horse was dying, having been bayoneted in the back at Fort Robinson, Nebraska, Crazy Horse said to his father, "Tell the people it is no use to depend on me anymore. Until we can once again produce people like Crazy Horse, all the money and help in the world will not save us. It is up to us to write the final chapter of the American Indian upon this continent." Deloria could have been writing about himself. Okay.
Moving on. Who's number 2?
Lucy Covington.
This one's definitely a chick, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Colville. She was a rancher turned Republican. Freudian slip there. She was a rancher turned politician who led the fight against failed policy of termination in the 1960s. Termination was an idea to save money by ending the federal government's relationship with tribes. She would sell a cow to pay her way to Washington. One of those tools that she used in this fight, a tribal newspaper. Well, I suppose you could use a colon there. She started Our Heritage, which you need quotation marks around that. a newspaper with the mission of informing tribal members about the issues. She would lead a quiet campaign to quell what she called the present fever and fervor for termination. Okay, I could see that. I mean, better than, Vine.
Wait. So she was against the idea of termination of relations between the federal government and the tribes? And that's why she should be on a statue instead of Christopher Columbus? Am I getting that right?
Well, I think the government wanted to cut off support to the tribes, is what I'm thinking of. Like, they wanted the government to be like, separate, I guess. I'm not sure.
Because that's what it sounds. That's what it sounded like to me. Is that she was against the policy proposal of termination of relations between the tribes and the federal government in the monetary sense. Support, aid, stuff like that. And I'm wondering, how long would it take before her statue got torn down? She wanted money from the white people.
Let's see. Indian termination was the policy of the United States from the mid-40s to the mid-60s. It was shaped by a series of laws and policies with the intent of assimilating Native Americans to mainstream American society.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. So, she didn't want to assimilate, and that's why she deserves a statue. Okay. Moving on.
Let's see. Howard Rock.
This is another who?
He was the legendary founder and editor of the Tundra Times. He once called his newspaper an unfinished venture. The Tundra Times was essential reading for anyone and everyone interested in Alaska issues.
So,
should be Alaskan.
Nobody really.
Who wrote
Wait, when was this?
Shit?
Yeah.
Mark Trahant. You are a dick. Let's see. Rock maintained a nonpartisan editorial position, but endorsed individual candidates based on Native issues, as one person would. He also wrote about Native culture, and the newspaper carefully followed and reported on Native Alaskan Native Claims never mind. The Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act developments until the legislation became law in 1971. Okay.
See, now I could be wrong, but I might be picking up on a theme here.
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of people who are big in their tribes, but don't really sound like they got much traction elsewhere, because I don't know who any of these fucking people are.
Oh, I was just going strictly to they're mainly focused on Native Americans so far.
Yeah, that's why I said big fish in little ponds. They mean something to their tribe, don't mean shit to me.
Yeah. There's a huge bias, which shocking.
Let's see. Annie Dodge Waneka, Navajo. She became a nurse caring for patients during an influenza pandemic. She had the flu when she was young and gained enough antibodies to be immune. Later, she traveled door to door on Navajo Nation explaining tuberculosis. She was the first woman of the Navajo Nation Council, and she was given a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Okay, yeah, build her a statue. Sounds like she did some serious shit.
So there's would you say what, one person that we agree with? So
far, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Newspapers don't seem like they're up there.
Well, I think it's also there's a seeming bias in that two of these people were newspaper editors or started newspapers.
Yeah.
Mm.
So maybe this guy's projecting a bit.
Okay. No, not this one.
Uh-oh.
Jackson Sundown. Nez Pierce. Born as a word.
Can we just go ahead and use Sinatra's foreign? I mean, we're Indians and we can't even pronounce this shit, so...
I'll just go native.
Fair enough.
I usually just go with, fuck you, get a real name.
He was a champion rodeo rider who became a folk hero because of his performance in the 1916 Pendleton Roundup. No explanation as to what that was. But that's it. That's all the information you get on him.
Okay.
Remember when people did a little research for their stories, at the very least? You know, put the slightest bit of effort into something? Because I almost forget.
Wait, now how many have we gone through so far? There were 10 of these, right?
Yeah. Let's see, we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We got 5 more of these. Okay.
Oh,
Shit.
for fuck's sakes.
Elizabeth Peradovich.
Because that sounds Indian.
I was just going to say, this sounds like a politician.
Tlingit.
I ain't doing anything with it.
Sure. She championed equal rights for Alaska Natives. She is credited with convincing lawmakers to pass the Anti-Discrimination Act of 1945, the first anti-discrimination law in the United States. Every year on February 16th, Alaska celebrates Elizabeth Petrovich Day.
Okay, Alaska, that makes sense. That used to be Russian territory. So, okay, the last name, that fair enough.
Okay.
And yeah, if you're responsible for passing a law, I can definitely see it.
And it has the benefit of being the first.
First law against discrimination. I like it.
Yeah, okay, so we got 2 so far.
Not bad.
Let's see. Billy Frank Jr. Nisqually. Frank was a tribal leader who fought for treaty rights, and that included defying the state of Washington on the river. He said, "I was not a policy guy, I was getting arrested guy." But those arrests led to something. He became friends with those who shackled him, was appointed to offices by the same governors who once had him arrested. He persuaded the entire establishment of the Pacific Northwest that he was indeed right, and the folks were better off joining him in his cause. And because of Billy Frank Jr., the salmon survive today and have returned to the streams where they once extinct, and the tribal communities of the Northwest are stronger in so many ways. I will actually agree with that, because my tribe was, in fact, affected by that.
Hey man, salmon's good.
Is that fireworks, dude?
Those
Sounds like it.
Yep, that's the neighborhood.
Holy shit.
Of course, I could close the window, but it would turn it into a sauna here.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, that's... God damn.
Yep.
Like, what are they blowing up out there, man? How far away is that? That sounds pretty close and loud.
That is maybe about a block and a half away.
Okay, so we got, have we got 3 out of...
3 more to go.
7? We got, 3, so far, 3 out of 7 people were like, okay, fair enough.
Yep. Let's see, Wilma Mankiller. Sure. She was the first woman elected as principal chief in the Cherokee Nation. In a speech at Emory University, she told a story about the women. Fucking hell. Line jumped. She told a story about the United States sending a negotiation team to meet with the Cherokees and draft a treaty. One of the initial questions was, "Where are your women?"
Hey, where are the white women at?
Cherokee women often accompanied their leaders at important ceremonies and negotiations, and it was inconceivable that the representatives from the federal government would come along. How can you negotiate anything with only half of your people or half a way of thinking? Mankiller was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That doesn't really tell you much.
Agreed.
Just that she showed up. And a lot of
I feel like I'm streaming with Baghdad Bob. Oh, Evan, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Not even going to try. Evan, we're talking about 10 people who should be given statues instead of Christopher Columbus. And so far, we don't know who any of them are. But there's a couple that you can make a case for.
Mm-hmm.
Evan is, Evan streams with Clyde.
Okay.
On Maximum Underdrive.
Cool. Who's wait, we've done 7. Who's number 8?
Number 8, Helen Peterson, Cheyenne and Lakota. Let's see, she was the.
And what did Helen do?
She was the long.
That's statue worthy.
I'm feeling really scribish right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I couldn't imagine what you're getting this from.
Okay, Monkey. I'll see how I see how it is. She was the long-serving executive director of the National Congress of American Indians during much of the termination era. But that was her second career. Before that, she was an expert in Latin America, promoting human rights for farm workers and other Latin Americans. In 1949, she represented the United States at an international conference in Peru. She was a friend of Eleanor Roosevelt, who encouraged her to move to Washington, D.C. The Indians are their own best spokesmen, their own best diplomats, but they can exercise these roles effectively only in proportion to their opportunities to exchange information and to use their combined strength and concerted voice. She wrote in an article calling for more participation by Native people in elections. Let's see. Her son, Max Peterson, put Helen Peterson's career in perspective when she died. During those times, there were no women in power, really, he said in the Denver Post. Her accomplishments don't sound like much now because there are a lot of women doing the same things, but back then, doing those things were a big deal. She went to Washington as a lobbyist. That was an exclusively male area. She managed to do a great job on behalf of Indian legislation and Indian rights. Okay, I can see that one too.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to hear someone outside Johnny's window shouting Allahu Akbar before one of these pops goes off.
Like, how pronounced is it?
I mean, it sounds like fireworks going off, but it sounds like, you know how you hear gunshots on TV? You know that it's way louder in real life?
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like that right now.
There you go.
Like, we're just hearing the pops, but I imagine if I was sitting in the room with you, it'd be way more distracting.
You think they'd go with the anthem?
Oh.
It fucking does.
It totally does. That's perfect.
Oh, man.
I mean, that lined up perfectly.
I'm shocked that they just didn't die after I started playing. Let's see. Last one. Forrest Gerard, Blackfeet. Girard was one of the first American Indians to work on Capitol Hill and helped guide the Senate past the policy of termination into tribal self-determination. He worked for Senator Harry Jackson and the Interior Committee, where the golden era of Indian policy bills rolled off a legislative assembly line. The Indian Finance Act, the Indian Self-Determined and Education Assistance Act, and the Indian Healthcare Improvement Act. This, of course, is not the end, only the beginning, because in a country, this is the final part. Because in a country can you please go back to fucking school and learn grammar?
Well, while the author's doing that, hey Terry, we got Terry in chat. See, I waited there.
Sure, now you did.
You can't accuse me of abusing you like Monkey abused a scribe. That's deflection, and that's something that Polly would do to Jack. Just saying.
Allegedly. Let's see.
So these people that other Indians haven't even heard of. I'm seriously doubting white people will want to put statues up for them. Black people sure as shit won't. Latinos, well, I've always joked those are just Indians who speak Spanish, but they really don't give a shit either. So you're just going to have a whole country of people walking past these statues going, who the fuck is that?
Actually,
kind of like they do now.
I would say that you have more white people just for the fact that they're native wanting to put up signs or statues.
Probably. These days.
I mean, there's a few of them, yeah. I mean, most definitely they deserve statues. They did some really cool and important stuff. Others is like, okay, you ran a newspaper. Bully for you. Why the fuck should I care? And a couple of them, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, I'm for termination. So yeah, I wouldn't want a statue for him. But I found some articles on Indians.com that I think might be interesting. Just looking at the headlines alone. Here's one. The Elizabeth Warren of the sci-fi set. Author faces criticism for repeated use of tribal traditions.
Interesting.
Here's one from my neck of the woods. Oklahoma tribes mark $1 billion milestone in gaming revenue sharing. So you might get that monitor money back faster than you thought, Johnny.
Nice.
Here's a Tim Giago. You have to be carefully taught. This is dealing with protesters and rioting, I guess. Here's another one, I guess, from my neck of the woods. Chuck Hoskins. Why I removed Confederate monuments from the Cherokee Capitol grounds. And last one I pulled up was Oliver Whaley. Slavery still exists in some parts of America. So those are your choices, gentlemen, from Indians.com. If there's anything you or the chat might care to hear more about, go ahead and let me know.
Slavery still exists. Let's hear. I want to hear that.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, guys.
So, Della, Johnny, you guys got a vote for any of these, or we want to just jump in with the slavery one?
I agree with Terry.
I also agree with Terry, and I just say I have a submission for a statue.
Well, before you get to that, can I just point out that it was the one white guy of the group that wanted to hear about slavery before we continue?
I mean, that's like pointing out the sky is blue.
Okay, who do you have a nomination for statue ship or hood?
Wes Studi.
Who?
Wes Studi. He's the actor guy.
He played Sagat in the Street Fighter movie, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
You just wanted to say duty, didn't you?
That's what I'm thinking.
Studi.
Studi. Okay.
Not duty.
That's what it sounded like. Am I wrong, chat? Am I the only one that heard that, really?
I heard it in my head, but...
So there's at least 2 of us on the stream that heard it. I'm willing to bet you at least half the chat heard it too.
Well, I knew the guy's name, so I heard Studi because I was expecting to hear Studi. So I'm a biased source. I don't count.
Don't get me wrong, I heard Studi, but while he was saying it, in my head, it was overpowered by duty.
Okay, maybe I just need to get my ears checked because I heard duty. I'm surprised you didn't go. I'm surprised you didn't go with your spirit animal, Adam Beach, there, Johnny.
I would have, but he is a bit of a nutcase. So.
I still
as opposed to Christopher Columbus, really? We're making this distinction.
Well, I mean, if we're going to combine the two.
You want a statue of an Indian, the guy who cried over the garbage.
Perfect.
That doesn't count. He's Italian. I'm not going to have some giddy representing my people.
Since when?
Fair enough. Yeah, he's like the only good Indian meme on Twitter. It pisses me off.
The teardrop should be part of the statue. They should actually engrave a teardrop onto his face.
Just turn it into a fountain.
Yeah, oh, even better.
Fucking Iron Eyes Cody, every time.
Camel, there was a joke that I made just after you left, and last time we were streaming together, where Tally had said that all Native Americans are inherently funny, and I warned her against making blanket statements to people like.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh.
Damn.
Well, what was even funnier is that she corrected him on the joke.
She was like, "That's not historically accurate. Smallpox doesn't actually survive on a blanket long enough to be transmitted to the Native American population."
Someone's done some research.
It sounds like somebody's been working real too hard on their justification. We didn't do it, I swear.
She's been waiting just for such a time.
Yeah, clearly.
But no, it was like she jumped on it, and we're just like, I'm like, that's not what he meant, and she's like, what do you mean? And I go, blanket statements, and she goes, oh God.
Well, no, I thought it was great because she's like, she said, we're all inherently funny. It's like, you know why? We've had 400 years to write these jokes. Time and practice, eventually it pays off. No, but Oliver Whaley, slavery still exists in some parts of America. For Native Americans, slavery still exists. By Oliver Whaley. Gee, who would have thought that the writer would put his name in the fucking headline?
But,
Gee.
okay.
Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Today I take Mr. King's great wisdom to heart, and I will not be silent."
Please do.
As we celebrate Juneteenth this month, which is celebrated as the end to slavery, I want to shout out for everyone to hear that slavery has not ended in the United States. While Native Americans have seemingly become a forgotten people. Hey, this motherfucker did the same thing, Johnny.
What?
There's a period after the quote, forgotten people.
Oh, good Lord.
That's the sentence. While Native Americans have seemingly become a forgotten people.
We
That's
should,
not a sentence.
I think I found our MSS News articles for tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
And it's going to be on Monkey's Night, too, so Scratch going to get interrupted while he's reading them. You really do want to give him a stroke, don't you?
Frosted has Medium. You guys should send him Indians articles every MSS News.
Well, was that last one an Indians article? Because I didn't see that one when I was scrolling through.
The article or the list?
Yeah, the list.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Indians. Oh my
It
god.
was further down.
I'm so disappointed in my people. I tell you. Let us not forget, or in most cases, let us become aware that for Native Americans living on their tribal nations today, legalized government servitude is alive and well. Here in the 21st century, Native Americans are still deemed wards to their guardians. The federal government issues every tribal member a prison number, called a census number, to prove it. What does this mean? Well, imagine a world where the federal government was responsible for looking after your best interests. What if all of your assets were managed by bureaucrats on your behalf? A special bureau is even set up to oversee your affairs. Every important decision you make requires approval, and every approval comes with a plethora of regulations. How would you feel about this? How well do you think it would work? What issues would it create both socially and economically? For those answers, just ask America's 21st century slaves, Native Americans. Across Indian country, tribal lands are owned and managed by the federal government. Individual Native Americans cannot buy land, own a home, or build equity that could later be used as collateral for a business startup. As such, and without property rights, capitalism doesn't exist in Indian country, as it does throughout the rest of the United States. And this goes without even mentioning the complex legal framework that hinders economic growth on tribal nations. Cumbersome and often irrelevant energy regulations make it difficult for tribes to develop their resources. The fact that our self-proclaimed guardian has repeatedly mismanaged Native American assets. Oh, the fact is that our self-proclaimed guardian has mismanaged Native American assets. While I can affirmatively state that Native Americans today would unanimously tell you that they would like the freedom to shape their own destinies as a part of and within their own tribal nations, Native Americans today who wish to remain in their homelands are left with no choice and, in a large sense, forced to continue to accept government commodities while being asked, why can't you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps? So, as we discuss systematic racism and much needed reform, let us also discuss a systemic overhaul of Native American law and truly give Native Americans back their freedom and independence by giving tribal nations complete sovereignty parallel to that of states, and let them shape their own destinies. It is then, and only then, that will see, not we, that will see unemployment, crime, domestic violence, and abuse, and suicide rates fall on tribal lands and tribal nations again become self-reliant, which is all we really want. Oliver Whaley is Dene and is a member of the Navajo Nation. It's always the fucking Navajo. God, I'm so sick of those people. And I'm an Indian, so it's not racist for me to say that. I got a card and everything. No. Here's why. If anybody in chat is interested, why I can't stand the fucking Navajo. Here's why. They get credit for being the code talkers. When the Choctaw, my people, did that a whole war ahead of them. World War I, we were the code talkers. Did we get a fucking movie out of that? No!
See, I still find it hilarious that you have a literal race card. That just will never stop cracking me up.
It cracks me up every time I use it, Terry. I look down and I'm like, I can't believe this is fucking real.
That's a good one, Daylight.
Thank you. They can never go the fuck away.
Well, the running joke around here, anyways, we call him Slap-a-ho. I mean, now with this dude's article, I mean, grammatical errors aside, it does have some legitimate points to make. Because I worked at a law office for a short period of time, dealing with mostly like wills, estates, and contracts. People buying land, selling land, and the argument about not being able to buy land or sell land, that holds some legitimacy, but not entirely. Now, at least here in Oklahoma, when dealing with the Bureau of Indian Affairs, that's generally like half-blood or more, where they have a direct say in whether or not you can sell, land or mineral rights or whatever else. You have to go to them to get approval to sell that land. If you are half Indian, half a member of a tribe or greater. If you are less than half blood, have a blood quantum of less than half, you don't. Like, I could go buy a plot of land right now because I'm less than half Choctaw, and Bureau of Indian Affairs couldn't say shit about it. I could turn around and sell it the next day, couldn't say shit about it. But, like, my grandfather, who was half Choctaw, when he passed away, like, his mineral rights, any lands that he held, per his will, were divided up amongst his children and so on, but it had to get approval through the BIA. And I've dealt with some of those people on the phone. They're fucking morons. I had one lady who wanted to talk to me about everything but what I called her about. It's like, you need a friend. I have a job to do.
I can see the objection if it's still happening today. What happened with your grandfather, that the government does have to approve everything. I can see the complaint. I can see the validity in that.
Oh yeah, that is still on the books today. If you are half blood or more, any tribe, any federally recognized tribe, you're buying or selling of land. Well, I don't know about buying, but definitely like transferring it out of your ownership has to go through the BIA. Now, that's on an individual level that I dealt with. I did not deal directly with any tribal government. I didn't work for any tribal government dealing with the federal government or the BIA, so I don't know that side of it. But it sounds to me like this guy is purely talking about the sovereignty of the tribal government, not the tribal citizen. So he's talking about reservation stuff, which in Oklahoma we don't have any reservations. There is land owned by the Choctaw tribe. There's obviously lands owned by the Cherokee. They're taking down Confederate statues because, surprise, surprise, they fought for the Confederates. Just saying.
If you want to visit a reservation, do you have to book in advance?
Not in Oklahoma. There are no reservations. It's all walk-in dining. But yeah, you have 37 federally recognized tribes in Oklahoma, no reservations. Now, and the Dakotas in Montana, Wyoming, yeah, sure, they have reservations. It's completely fucking different. As with anything, the tribes are not a monolith. So, this guy's, Navajo, what they're out, New Mexico, Arizona? I forget where the fuck they are. But, further out west, up north, shit may be completely different than what I know from dealing with my tribe and the tribes around me. But this one, yeah, I mean, I could see it. I can see the argument.
Google says that the Navajo Nation is northeastern Arizona, southeastern Utah, and northwestern New Mexico. So yes, you were right on those. It's both.
Bunch of fucking desert dwellers. You see why I don't like them? You can't trust sand people. It's just like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to go ahead and hear about the Cherokee Nation removing Confederate monuments, unless anybody has any objections.
I don't know. Fine with me.
Because I'm willing to bet you, if Elizabeth Warren had actually paid any attention to Cherokee history, she would not have claimed to be a Cherokee running for president in current year. She might have tried to say that she was Choctaw, and the idiots in my tribe probably would have let her get away with it. This is by Principal Chief Chuck Hoskins Jr. of the Cherokee Nation. Across our country, we are having a new dialogue about how we experience race and the painful chapters of United States history, including the American Civil War. See? Chuck knows how to fucking grammar. All the periods and commas were in the right place in that sentence. Recently, I oversaw the removal of 2 monuments from the historic Cherokee Nation Capitol Square in Tahlequah. The monuments fail to reflect the Cherokee Nation's values of freedom and inclusion, and they run contrary to the idea that Cherokee's Nation... Okay, Chuck, you done fucked up. you know it's bad when I am catching your spelling errors.
It was a good run while it lasted. We got a full sentence out before he fucked it up.
No, he got 2. He got 2 full sentences.
Yeah.
There you go. The monuments fail to reflect the Cherokee Nation's values of freedom and inclusion, and they run contrary to the idea that Cherokee's Nation should have control of telling its own story. Well, here's the problem, Chuck. You guys fought for the people that owned slaves. You were on their side. So those monuments kind of do reflect the values of the Cherokee Nation at the time. Just because it doesn't reflect it now, doesn't mean it didn't back then. Just saying. Oh, also, I don't know about the whole Choctaw tribe, but the ones I know, not too keen on the Cherokees either. Believe it or not, we might be a little racist. I mean, we do have a race card. So, we have long had public discussion about the potential removal of these monuments. I concede that recent events in the country caused me to reflect further on the matter. That's a nice way of saying we really got our shit together when we saw the nation was burning down.
Yeah.
America is engaged in a dialogue on the subject of whether public monuments glorifying the Confederacy are appropriate. I think they are not. But that only begins to delve into the reasons I removed the monuments. Political expediency, Chuck. It doesn't go very deep. The discussion goes even deeper, he says, though. To the core of whether a people should have the power to tell their own story, even if they're lying out of their ass. Contrary to popular belief, the monuments, both relating to the Confederacy and Confederate General Stand Watie, are not Cherokee in terms of creation or origin. But Stand Watie was a fucking Cherokee. And matter of fact, those of you who don't know in chat, if you haven't been here before, Stand Watie was the last general of the Confederacy to surrender. An Indian from Oklahoma was the last one holding up the stars and bars. Chuck doesn't want you to remember that. As a Choctaw, I say fuck Chuck. Tell everybody.
I think we can go with that as a hashtag.
Fuck Chuck. Tell everyone. The monuments were set in place by a non-Cherokee organization, the Daughters of the Confederacy, in 1913 and 1921. This began less than a decade after Cherokee Nation lost ownership of our historic Capitol Square in Oklahoma statehood. The state owned the property, and it was controlled by the county government as a courthouse. Cherokee Nation, its government suppressed by the federal government, was not involved in the placement of those monuments. So, white people did it. It's all white people's fault. Don't blame us. We had nothing to do with it, even though, we had slaves and we fought to keep them.
See, the crazy thing is, white people as a whole will probably agree with it was all white people's fault. That's how retarded white people are these days.
What an insult to a great nation to have its capital taken and then adorned with monuments by those who seized it. Okay, there's a reason why the Cherokee Nation capital was seized and controlled by the county government. When the tribes, when a lot of them in Oklahoma decided, hey, fuck the Union, they haven't kept any of their treaties with us anyway, so why should we, not fight against them, and lost? That's why, Chuck. That's why. You picked the wrong horse. That's why you lost your capital. That's why somebody else put monuments on it. And how long did you guys have control of that shit after? When did you get it back? Was it last week? Last month? Oh, a while ago? long before any of this shit started? I say. It would take half a century for Cherokee Nation to regain its full ability to self-govern. Okay, so let's get this straight. The monuments were placed in 1913 and 1921. So we're talking like 1971 at the latest, according to his half-century claim, right? Those motherfuckers have been sitting there for almost 50 years. 50 years! And this is why I say hashtag fuck Chuck.
And yes, that's in chat. I think we need to move it to Twitter and just get that trending.
I mean, dude, if you want to say, hey, man, we realize shit's going crazy and we're just going to go ahead and take this down. Okay, fine, cool, whatever. But don't make it out like, oh, we've been planning on this for a while, guys. You know, we just finally got around to it. Like, we had meetings. You know, somebody took minutes. I want receipts, Chuck. I want to know that you guys actually did plan to do this a while ago.
No, it sounds like they took a lot more than minutes. It sounds like they took decades.
Let's see. Yeah. Yet for the last century, one of the most hallowed places in the Cherokee Nation, a symbol of Cherokee unity, endurance, and progress, was decorated based on the judgment of the state government, the county government, and a non-Indian organization as they saw fit. The days of Cherokee leaving it to others to tell our story are over. We have suffered for centuries with others telling our story for us and telling us which people, places, and events should be glorified in monuments. I've committed much time and energy to giving our national story back to Cherokees. On that point, I will never yield. Today, we have the power and resources to build our own monuments and memorials to significant people, places, and events. We have exercised that power across Cherokee Nation in a way that has brought pride and unity to our tribe. You can see it in each of our public spaces, including our fine casinos. Please go visit them and give us your money. I'm sorry, I added that last part. Through museums, books, and online material, people can explore the Cherokee story. This includes a discussion of Stand Watie and the Civil War. As it is not possible to explore Cherokee history without understanding both. Telling our own story allows us to tell it more fully and accurately. The Daughters of the Confederacy had as its mission the glorification of the Confederacy. The monuments were set in the midst of great racial strife in the country, including lynchings, race massacres, and the enforcement of Jim Crow laws. To anyone with even a basic understanding of Cherokee Nation's connection to the Civil War, the monuments did a poor job of depicting that pivotal era in Cherokee history. The monuments bearing painful references to the Confederacy and glorifying the cause of the rebellion detract from the spirit of unity and friendship that Cherokees today want to extend to each other and to the world. We can do better. As for the monuments, we will work to find them a new and appropriate home. Going forward, we plan to develop more artistic spaces for Cherokees to better tell our story across the entirety of the Capitol grounds. For the first time in more than a century, the Cherokee Nation will take full control over the images and symbols depicted in our historic Capitol Square. As long as I am chief, those symbols will reflect unity and inclusion, not divisiveness. Go fuck yourself, Chuck. Just, yeah.
So, since Indian casinos got brought up, if you show your card, do they say, okay, we'll sit you at the good table with the slightly better odds?
Fuck no.
Oh, God, no.
No, they treat you like a sucker just like any white person that walks through the door.
Pun intended, they will scalp you for everything you're worth.
So they don't go, okay, here's the Native American roulette table. Hint, hint, bet on red.
I don't even get a free pack of smokes going over there, man. No. Speaking of tribes and casinos, this apparently, I guess they reached a new gaming compact with the state government. They were holding out there for a while because I think the old one expired. This is the law between the state government and the tribes that allows the different tribes to operate casinos, pretty much. So Oklahoma tribes have shared more than $1.1 billion in revenue with the state since 2006. As of fiscal year 2014, tribes shared $979.7 million with the state. Now that figures from 2015. That's highlighted, so that's a link to something. God damn. This is what happens when you have people writing English as a second language, I guess. Are out. The amount finally surpasses the 1.1 billion mark. The milestone comes 11 years after voters approved the Class 3 Gaming Compact through State Question 712 in 2004. The agreement requires tribes to share 4% of the first $10 million in adjusted gross revenues, 5% of the next $10 million in AGR, and then 6% of all revenues over $20 million. The City Sentinel reported. The fiscal year 2015 report from the Gaming Compliance Unit of the Office of Management and Enterprise Services, that's a mouthful, showed that tribes shared $128.4 million in 2015, $122.6 million in 2014. This is just going to list off every year since 2006, apparently. Fiscal year 2014 was the only year when revenue sharing payments as a whole declined from the year prior. The situation has been attributed in part to the increase in Class 2 machines in the state. Available recent figures indicate the trend has continued with Class 2 machines growing as a percentage of total machines, the 2015 reports. Okay, so that's it? That's the story? That has nothing to do with the new compact? Did they not get that agreement? Apparently not. That was a story I'd seen in the local news that the Governor Kevin Stitt, Stitt. If you spell it backwards, it means Kevin's the tits. But he's trying to negotiate a new gaming compact where the tribes actually provide more revenue to the state. He's saying that we're not paying enough. Now I'm sorry, but we've generated over $1 billion in revenue since 2006. I mean that sounds like a lot to me. So
yeah,
I was hoping this was going to say that there was a new gaming compact that was going to allow for greater revenue to the tribe. Apparently not. So that's a whiff on that article. Who wants to hear about the Elizabeth Warren of sci-fi?
Oh boy, do I.
Well, you've twisted my arm.
Hey man, there's still one other one here. Tim Giago telling us how we have to be taught or carefully taught. I mean, you pick your poison, man. You want heads or tails? I mean, that's all I got left from Indians.com anyway. We could talk about how corporations need to support Black Lives Matter if you want to get off the Indian bandwagon.
I think the Elizabeth Warren of sci-fi sounds intriguing.
All right, this is from Wednesday by AC Agoyo. And after that is some shit that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I don't know if that's tribal affiliations or what, but there's like 3 slashes in between. So
say no, native.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A popular author is facing renewed accusations of cultural appropriation after repeatedly using tribal stories and traditions without consent. In her latest work, Rebecca Roanhorse describes herself as being Native American from this is Owingeh, so native. One of the 19 Pueblo communities in New Mexico. God, why didn't you just say Pueblo? What the? Any white people in chat, if you ever want to hear some racist shit about Indians, just talk to another Indian.
Yeah.
We hate each other.
Can confirm.
I don't know. How many times have I called your tribe a click-clack tribe, Johnny?
Every time I talk about it. Like...
Exactly, see?
So
I just remind him.
Is the whole stunning and brave thing racist to you guys because of the last word in that?
Well, my tribe was one of the civilized ones, so I don't know if we even had braves. I don't know what you'd call that. I don't care.
We were too busy fishing.
Yeah. Johnny was too busy fishing. My people were too busy farming. I don't think we had, one of the 19 Pueblo communities in New Mexico. But she is not a citizen of the federally recognized Indian nation, whose homelands are located in the northern part of the state. Additionally, no one under the name Roan Horse, her married name, or that of Parrish, her maiden name, is a citizen. Indians.com confirmed.
Oh, good.
And in public settings, she has told people she has never lived in the tribal community. Despite the lack of formal or community ties to Native, whose leaders are regularly recognized for their contributions to arts, education, and national policy. So, liberals, pretty much. Roan Horse centers herself as a representative of the tribe to readers of science fiction and fantasy. Oh, you mean the genre where everything's made the fuck up?
What is this?
And an author... Sorry, go ahead.
What is this fictional narrative you're trying to push here?
And an author's note for a brief lesson in Native American astronomy, which is up for a literary award this month. She said she repurposed a traditional Pueblo story in the hopes of inspiring others to learn more about Native cultures and people. So, I mean, the Pueblo people should really just, be happy with getting the exposure, right? That's how the internet works, yeah?
Yeah. Paid in exposure is the best way to be paid. Much better than money.
Oh, I have a really good story about that. Go ahead and finish.
How far does this fucking go? It looks like there's some scrolling here. That's a white lady. Oh, okay, that's not the lady they're talking. Okay, that's not the lady they're talking. There's like two pictures of women that are neither one of them are the person they're bitching about. Do you have a picture of this woman or not? Oh, okay, yeah, there's a picture of her. She looks Indian to me. I mean, that's a very good spray tan. Otherwise, I mean, she's got the dark hair, the facial structure. She got that double chin that looks like pre-diabetes, just like an Indian. Yeah, this is a long dude. I had to scroll like 3/4 of the way down just to find a picture of her. So I'm thinking there's a lot of smoke and no fire at this powwow. You guys want me to keep going? Because, like I said, I'm still scrolling. Oh, I finally got to the comment section.
I think we've got the gist. She claims to be Native American, and she's not actually affiliated with any tribe, unless it adds anything else to the story. I don't think.
Well, here's a good comment actually at the very bottom. This is the last 6 paragraphs of the story, which I guess I skipped, are ... weird and unprofessional. Miss Roan Horse's specific claim was that the writer of this piece went and gave 1-star reviews to all her books on Goodreads. If one is going to print that claim at all without withholding the specifics are inappropriate. Assuming that's true, the journalist's actions are insanely unprofessional and call into question the credibility of the entire piece. If this writer did call Miss Roanhorse on her personal cell phone after work hours without reaching out through email or agent, that's also unprofessional and suggests a bizarre grudge. I'm unsure if Indians.com has an editor, but if so, one hopes they will intervene as this is not professional journalistic behavior. Now I'm kind of curious to go back and see what the fuck I skipped.
Fair enough, let's do it.
We got at least 6 paragraphs of good reads here, apparently. He said the last 6? Well, let's see. Okay, some of this is just like, one sentence and a fucking space. So I don't know what he's counting as paragraphs, but I'm pretty much going to have to read this whole fucking thing, aren't I?
Alright, well, let's brace ourselves.
Okay, scrolling. There's the white lady, there's another Indian woman. Scrolling. God damn. Okay, here we go. But Pueblo citizens instead see a troubling yet familiar pattern of artists, academics, and outright frauds utilizing native identities for personal, professional, and financial gain. They are immediately reminded of a long history of cultural appropriation, one which stretches back to the days of genocidal Indian boarding school era, perpetuated by individuals who lack direct and meaningful connections to the people they claim to honor and celebrate. She's like the Elizabeth Warren of the sci-fi set, Elena Ortiz, a citizen of Native, told Indians.com, comparing Roanhorse to a more recent example of a prominent political figure whose prior claims of a native identity have often detracted from otherwise well-grounded efforts to advance tribal causes. Sorry, I had to take a second because that's how you want to describe Elizabeth Warren? Really? Okay. In New Mexico, Ortiz has long been active in dismantling the harmful legacy of colonialism on tribal lands. Just last week, amid a reckoning over the nation's racist history of police officers' killings of African Americans, 3 monuments that commemorated violence against Pueblo and Navajo peoples, fucking Navajos, were taken down in Santa Fe, the state capital. A 4th also came down in a community next to Native. The efforts occurred in solidarity among Pueblo fucking Navajos, African Americans, and other allies, and are directly connected to eradicating cultural appropriation. Ortiz asserted. She believes Roanhorse's 2019 work, which is subtitled with the English name of a native language story, arises out of an exploitative practice where tribal traditions are taken by others without a complete recognition of the people who originate, maintain, and care for such knowledge in order to pass it on to future generations. Then they have an author's note from Rebecca Roanhorse. I am Native American, I almost said foreign, Native, on my mother's side, so I wanted to focus on a Native story that may not be familiar to most science fiction and fantasy readers. I chose the classic Native story Deer Hunter and White Corn Maiden, which has over 788,000 hits on Google and has been published in multiple books. Then why are we reading it in your what? So never mind. Apparently it's not science fiction. The original story has a historical setting, but Native people are very much a part of the future. And I want my retelling to reflect... Oh, so she took it and put it in space. like any good 70s B movie, she put it in fucking space. Totally different now.
I stole this story from the Indians, but it's okay, I put it in space. So it's different now.
Oh, it gets worse. So I chose a cyberpunk-esque setting where fame is everything and technology has made it possible to live, if not forever, then for a very long time. Okay. Based off her picture, she looks like an Indian. Maybe she's not part of this tribe. I don't know. But that right there, just... ugh. I don't know if they're right for, bitching about you being a fake Indian, but they're definitely right about bitching about your shitty fucking science fiction.
So, are you actually familiar with this Deer Hunter and White Corn Maiden story?
No, no. This is a sand people story. I live in Oklahoma. No, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got nothing. Like,
Okay, when I started reading it, I saw a deer hunter. I thought Christopher Walken. This is definitely not from my people. Okay.
Well, I admit I thought Christopher Walken straight away too, but
hey, Campbell,
yeah,
guess what?
I thought I'd just see is this a known story because you have more connection to Native American culture than I do by quite a hefty margin. So
Hey, Campbell, guess what?
What?
They just sent me an email canceling my order.
Again?
Yes.
Hold on. Let me check mine.
What are you ordering?
The monitor that I'm using. Walmart has sporadically been sending me and Johnny both emails over the course of the day saying, "Yeah, we canceled this order." Only problem is they're not sending it like right after they cancel it. It's like a couple hours later. It's like a delayed fuck you. It's like, no, we still don't want your money.
Well, I get that all the time. Not with anything as expensive as a computer monitor, but the number of times I've ordered dinner and it's gone, you know what? No. And then I've got to, and they don't do that right away either. It's like 30 to 60 minutes after I've ordered. Then they go, yeah, we've decided now that we're not going to take your order.
Oh, Terry, are you hungry? Because, yeah, we're not going to give you your food.
Well, generally, if it takes more than 10 minutes for them to approve my order, I just assume it's going to be declined, so I just order something else.
Oh.
It's only bit me in the ass once, and I've had 2 orders of food turn up.
So since we had brought up exposure as payment,
Yes.
this one comes from 2015 from the Bozeman Daily Chronicle, which is from a town about an hour and some from here.
Is that where Matt Christensen's from?
Huh?
Is that where Matt Christensen's from? I think
Yes.
I think I've heard that town or city name before. And
Yeah,
just trying to think.
that's Matt Christensen's place.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, apparently there's not a lot of towns or cities in Montana, so I think he's mentioned like all of them at some point.
Yeah.
I think he's talked about like Butte and Bozeman and Helena.
Missoula.
Is there any other like larger
Billings.
areas? Billings, that's right.
Is
Billings.
our big city. Let's
Yeah,
see.
Billings with all 30 residents. That's big city living in Montana.
Well, actually, Billings has probably got, maybe 3/4 of our population. Everyone lives in Billings.
This is where you lie and say it's nothing but like moose and bear up there. Like there's no people.
Oh, no.
You don't want anybody going there.
No, we live where I live. It's mostly moose and bear, but that's still quite a ways to the west. But yeah, this one, you get your goddamn nose out of that cat litter.
That's okay.
Anyway, so yeah, this one, not keeping up with the Kardashians benefits Bozeman-based dog sled guide is the name of the article. Let's see. Jason Matthews, the owner of a Bozeman-based Yellow Dog Sled Adventures, is starting to think that refusing to do business with the famous Kardashian family was a good business move. You've probably heard by now that the 2 Kardashian sisters, Khloe and Kim, were involved in a car accident near Bozeman last Saturday. News reports said the sisters were in Montana doing some skiing. Well, not quite, Matthews said they were there to do... What? Well, not quite, comma. Matthews said... quotes. Good lord. This guy even needs to learn how to do his fucking grammar. Well, not quite. Matthews said they were here to film an episode of their reality TV show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He knows because around Valentine's Day, he received an email from Ashley Warner, the production release coordinator for the reality show's production company. She wanted Matthews to take 10 people from the cast on a sled tour near Big Sky, and said a film crew about twice that many people would be tagging along on snowmobiles and snowshoes. That sounded good to Matthews. He explained his half-day rate for a private trip, which Warner insisted on, would be $390 per person, or $3,900. Mind you, the trip would have involved 5 sleds, 5 guides, and 50 sled dogs. Matthews was surprised when Warner offered a trade rather than paying him. She never really explained what trade meant, Matthews said, though through later emails the term exposure trade out. Matthews said he kept insisting that he needed to be paid in advance, and at one point told Warner, "Look, my dogs don't eat trade." Every time he talked, he said Warner seemed to be saying that he would be paid, but the next conversation would start with more talk about trade and exposure. All right. At one point, Warner even said to him confidently At one point, Warner even sent him a confidentiality agreement, and he put his foot down. I said, "I'm not going to sign this until you agree to pay my rate." In the face of his ultimatum, Warner simply stopped communicating. Warner had told Matthews that he would be... Warner told Matthews that the cast would be in the Big Sky area on February 20th and 21st. So as the 20th grew closer, he just figured they weren't interested. That was the last he knew of the whole thing until Sunday, when he heard about the Kardashian car accident. So he hopped on his personal Facebook page and wrote a short post called Montana Karmic Justice. He explained how plans to book his dog sled were abruptly canceled when he refused to provide the service for free. He said he went online and read that the Kardashian family is being paid $60 million for this season, solidifying his conviction that there shouldn't have been a problem with his $3,900 fee.
No, you wouldn't think.
He ended his Facebook post saying, "Glad we didn't do it." He didn't look at Facebook again all day because he was preoccupied with the death of one of his dogs, Faith, which he described as the main leader in my program for many years. But when he did get back to Facebook late Sunday, he was astounded to see that his post on the Kardashians was wildly popular and had been shared more than 1,500 times up to 1,800 Monday afternoon, and had drawn more than 80 comments, all of them supporting his decision. Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Yeah. I think Kim Kardashian can spring a few grand. I don't think that's going to break the bank for her.
Hey, Johnny, can you pull up that Indians.com article that I was reading a minute ago? Because I want to show the chat, if anybody's still here paying attention, just what we're talking about. Because you have to scroll away. So there's a couple pictures I want to point out.
The Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah.
Way ahead of you.
Alright. You want me to screen share, or?
Yeah, man. The first one I want you to scroll down to. I just want to show them a couple pictures. I can finish reading the article. I've got it pulled up. I just can't share it. The first one I was wanting to show was. Let
me see if I can remember how to do this.
Let's show everyone what Rebecca Roanhorse looks like. They got a picture of her about 3/4 of the way down the article. And then there's a picture further up of Susan Schoen Harjo. I want to show that like a compare and contrast.
Is that her? That's Susan Schoen Harjo.
Yeah, that's Susan. Okay,
Keep going.
that woman right there, that Susan was, according to this article, a Cheyenne and Hoodooji Muskogee activist and Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient. She's been at the forefront of every major Indian country battle, whether it was protecting sacred sites or getting rid of racist mascots. She's an Indian, according to them. But if you look at Rebecca, no, Rebecca's further down.
Oh,
she's
further down?
that 3/4 of the way down. Yeah.
Okay.
That's her right there. Yeah. That's the person they're questioning as to whether or not this is the Elizabeth Warren of sci-fi, folks. She's culturally appropriating and shit. Meanwhile, that white lady that Johnny just showed you, that's an Indian activist.
Huh.
That's some shit, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks to me like reading further into the article while you were talking about Montana telling the Kardashians to go fuck themselves. They're mad because she's telling these stories in her books.
Yeah, I probably should have shared it to the people in chat.
Well, yeah, nobody said anything about not seeing it, so yeah, they might.
Well,
I had the article pulled up while you were showing them, so.
I think most of the people in chat are also on the call because there's been very little interaction with chat since.
We got 7 people.
Okay, no, it's just because Becca.
There's a couple lurkers.
Becca was the last one to chat, who was not someone who's on stream at the moment. So.
Yeah, there's a couple lurkers. Where did I leave off? Oh, it was after the author's note. Roan Horse, in her author's note, appears to take pride in retelling such knowledge to readers whom she acknowledges may not be familiar with. Oh, no. Did I already read this? We got sidetracked a bit. Oh, Cynic's playing a game, but he's still listening.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where I left off. Takes pride in retelling such knowledge to readers whom she acknowledges may not be familiar with Pueblo culture. But Ortiz grew up hearing the story directly from her Tewa-speaking ancestors, and despite understanding the attempt to place it in a futuristic setting, she doesn't feel it will help outsiders learn anything about her people. What she wrote, Ortiz says, bears no resemblance to that story, what that message is, what it's trying to teach us about Pueblo people, and about our communities and ourselves. So she's doing it wrong in that first quote. Ortiz thinks a different motivation is at play. She said Roan Horse is using her claim of Pueblo heritage to make sure she stands out in a crowded literary space where few other Native Americans are able to achieve recognition in a medium largely controlled by non-natives. How hard would it be for Indians to get together and create a publishing house, really?
It kind of sounds like some sour grapes.
So far it does, doesn't it? And especially with that dude's comment at the bottom there, that's kind of, huh. Such criticism isn't the first time. Oh, wait, no. She's trying to use indigenous stories to market her work, Ortiz said. Yet she's added, there's no resemblance to what she's writing and what the stories actually are. So then it is fiction, right? If there's no resemblance between the actual story and what she's producing in her books and whatnot, I fail to see the issue so far. Such criticism isn't the first time Roan Horse has been questioned for utilizing tribal traditions. Since 2018, she has faced numerous complaints for basing her award-winning debut novel, Trail of Lightning, largely on Navajo cultural and spiritual knowledge, some of it considered taboo. Dr. Jennifer Dale, a citizen of the Navajo Nation, fucking Navajos, who was the first among her people to earn a doctorate in history, said the novel takes her ancestral teachings and appropriates them violently.
You gotta hate that violent cultural appropriation.
I mean, I prefer the layback and take it cultural appropriation. It's more my speed. She's talked to medicine healers in her community who are upset with unsanctioned depictions of their culture, including creation stories that are meant to be told in the Dene language. Or I'm going to say that's Dene. It could be Dine.
I'm going to say Dine because I can say that. I can pronounce that.
The way she does it is such desecration, Dennett Dale told Indians.com. Like, I like that they're speaking directly to Indians.com. It's not some other, it's the website. It's not the person writing this who, I forgot her fucking name already. AC something.
It was Native was her name.
No, that was a different article. Native was her tribal affiliations.
Right.
And like Ortiz, Dennett Dale argues that Roan Horse's appropriations expose how little she knows about the people she portrays in print. Well, obviously it would expose little knowledge if they don't actually match up with the fucking stories, right? There's no resemblance, according to the other lady. Fucking trying to keep this straight here. And so far, I've noticed another trend. It's all women bitching about this.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course.
These are some firewater aunts who are mad that their book didn't get to make it in the book club. And like so that's how little she knows. For her to present to a larger audience that she knows what she's talking is just ridiculous, said Dennett Dale, who serves as a chair of the Navajo Nation Human Rights Commission, whose role is to protect the well-being of the dying people. And it's harmful and it's violent, quote.
Violent? Oof.
Yeah. Dennett Dale has previously documented her concerns with Roan Horse's work. She also belongs to a a collective of Navajo writers who publish a widely read critique in Indian Country Today. Maybe we should add that to the list too, Johnny. Indian Country Today. Yeah. I'll look them after the stream. About appropriation of their cultural beliefs. But even before the commentary surfaced, Roan Horse was confronted about her decision to set the book on the largest reservation in the United States. During a book talk at... Oh, why the fuck are we throwing French stuff in here?
How fucking dare.
Jean Croissant Cinema. A historic theater in Santa Fe that's currently owned by George R.R. Martin, a giant in science fiction and fantasy. What has he written in science fiction? I thought it was all like fantasy shit.
Yeah, I think it is all fantasy shit.
These fucking people, man. Oh God. She said it was appropriate to use Navajo traditions in her work because they appear to be more publicly accessible than ones from Native. Mm-hmm. I didn't. So she told stories from a different tribe than what she's claiming to be. Although previously in the article they claimed that she's not on any of the tribal rolls for the one she's claiming to be. Wouldn't it be hilarious if this chick turned out to be like Samoan the whole time or something, and no one was able to tell? She's like a Hawaiian Rachel Dolezal.
Wow.
Thanks for going with me on that, Della.
Anytime. I got you.
I didn't want to be telling stories I shouldn't be telling or working with stories I shouldn't be working with, Roan Horse said in June 2018, seemingly accepting the idea that some cultural traditions are off limits. Pueblos are a little more private about their stuff, and I didn't want to upset anyone, she added. Wait, the lady earlier, Ortiz, they're saying that she was telling Pueblo stories. She's saying she's not. I'm confused.
Oh, there's the official cancellation email.
Another one?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna laugh if you keep getting these like throughout the rest of the year.
Only 6 hours late.
Like the December 31st, 11:59. Johnny gets an email. Hey, we canceled this order, just so you know.
Well, I did apply for a job when I think it was about 9 or 10 years ago, as a ditch digger for a sand and gravel place here. And they sent me 14 rejection emails back.
Oh, God.
I'm like, yeah, I get it. I didn't get the job.
I was gonna say, I don't know what's worse, the fact that you didn't get a job as a ditch digger, or the fact that they felt the need to tell you 14 times
Like, wow.
that you didn't get it.
I'm like, there must be a glitch in the system here because, yeah, I get it. I didn't get the job.
No. We just want to make sure if the first 13 wasn't enough, this 14th one really drove the nail home that no, we don't want you to dig a hole.
Clearly, they didn't hire you because they thought you had trouble understanding things, hence the reason they sent it 14 times.
You know, I typed in on IMDb, because we're just jumping over there for a quick.
We're all over the place at this point.
I typed into the keyword Native American. And what do you think the number one movie featuring Native Americans it is? According to IMDb, the most popular Native American movie and TV show is what? And I can almost guarantee you're not going to get it.
McClintock.
No.
Good party, no whiskey. We go now.
Oh, Lois and Clark?
Nope.
Or whatever the fuck that
Wait,
is.
I thought he was Japanese.
He is Japanese.
That's
Fuck if I know. He said I'm not going to get it. I don't care what the answer is. Or what answer I say.
Shit, why am I spacing out on the name of that one? It's not the Adam Beach movie, is it?
Nope.
I'm gonna go full.
Last of the Mohicans? Are they gonna be? Is it gonna be Daniel Day-Lewis? LARPing as an Indian?
Nope.
I'm gonna go Faulty Towers because you said I'm not gonna get it, so I'm just gonna go with a ridiculous guess.
Yeah, that's not it either. So, Parasite.
Okay. The fuck is Parasite?
That's a movie about a bunch of Koreans.
What?
Nice.
That's fucking hilarious.
Wow, they're really taking that land bridge theory and stretching it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because when I think of having a powwow, I think of the DMZ in fucking Korea.
Oh yeah, you always gotta have some fucking K-pop at a goddamn powwow.
If you bring something to this powwow, I'm leaving.
I will fucking beat someone if they do.
The next one on the list, It Chapter 2.
Wait. We're talking like the new It stuff, or are we talking the old?
That is the new one.
Shocking.
How? Like they had like one black kid. Are they gonna tell me that he was native?
Are they counting the the crew and the cast?
I would have to guess because just in the first, I'm going by like the first 10 people, and I am not seeing.
Yeah. The best boy on set and the key grip, they were native, so it's automatically.
Oh, here comes another one.
Your shit. Another email.
Yep.
God damn it.
How many is that this stream alone?
That is for three 5.
Yeah, 3 on
5.
stream and like 4 since we started the call.
Let's see. The next one is the Green Mile.
Okay.
Who the fuck was Indian in? Wait,
Graham Greene.
Graham. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
He is the.
Wait, that's not a Native American. That's not an Indian movie. He was like what he was the second or third one they executed.
I actually haven't seen that movie, so I wouldn't know.
What?
I think they executed him before they executed the guy from the bad guy from Air Bud. Like that's how early in the movie this happens.
So I take it is this a really good movie because it's been on my
The Green Mile.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good movie. It's based off a Stephen King story. It's yeah, Tom Hanks, Michael Clark Duncan. Oh shit, what's that dude's name? He's been in so much stuff. He was on House. He was on fucking The Rock.
His name.
I can't remember his name to save my
since
life
I'm
right
here,
now, but
I'll
he's
look it
good
up.
actor. Good actor.
David Morse.
David Morse. Yes. Sam
Rockwell.
Yeah, he's in it too.
Yeah, there's Michael Jeter, the bad guy from Air Bud.
See, that's all. That's all I know him from is Air Bud and the Green Mile.
Well,
I didn't even remember his name.
It's it's basically what its title is. It's about the last mile of a prison penitentiary where everyone in this particular section of
It's
the penitentiary
Death Row. Yeah.
waiting to go to death row would be electrocuted by the chair. That's what they're waiting for. And there's a specific one played by Michael Clark Duncan who comes in, and he has a very interesting story.
His name's John Coffey. Like the drink, but spelled different.
It's like tiny pieces of glass in my brain.
The undisputed best movie Sam Rockwell has ever been in is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm going to have to disagree on the sole fact that I have not seen it, but fair enough.
Yeah, he was one of the kids in the Ninja Turtles movie, and like he's like the leader of the gang of kids.
Oh wow, that was him.
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch that now. I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah. Like the kid runs away and joins the gang, and the leader of the gang is Sam Rockwell.
You know what? I'm surprised, Johnny, with this list that you've going down so far.
Yeah.
I have not heard Free Willy yet.
Free Willy is not in the top. What is it? 50.
One of the main actors in that was an Indian. Come on. And like they actually tried to put like a little bit of native culture into it too. He gave him the necklace with the whale on it. You know.
Well, you got number 5, which is Call of the Wild. Not one native actor in there.
Is that the wait? Is that the one where Harrison Ford goes out in the woods, or is that the one where Emil Hirsch goes out in the woods? I can't keep them straight.
No,
it's the same fucking movie. It's just two different actors.
No, Call of the Wild is the one where it's the guy and his dog.
Oh, that's the one where they had the CGI dog, where they had a dude playing a dog. They didn't get a real fucking. Oh, fuck them.
No,
fuck that movie.
That's not that one. That's the. This one's based off of the Jack London book.
And the other one was Kerouac, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Me neither. Moving on.
Twilight after that.
Oh, god damn it.
For fuck's sake. You're fucking shitting me, right?
No, I'm not shitting you.
That's why I said god damn it. I knew he was shitting us not.
Yeah, but I was hoping he would allow me to fool myself. Apparently he's not a good friend as I thought he was.
And then we have Quantum of Solace. That's about the
Okay, I'm not a big Bond guy. Okay, I admit I haven't seen a lot of the new ones. I haven't seen most of the old ones either.
That is
Who the fuck was an Indian in that movie?
Good question.
I've seen more of the old ones than the new ones because I didn't like Daniel Craig as Bond, so I just didn't watch any of the ones with him in it.
I blame Mike Myers for that. Austin Powers killed the Bond franchise.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, I take that back. Blame Mike Myers and Austin Powers and Matt Damon and Jason Bourne.
yes, for sure. I like the Sean Connery, Roger Moore ones. Like Sean Connery was a better Bond, but Roger Moore's movies were like goofy, silly nonsense, whereas Sean Connery's were a little bit more serious, like not super serious, but more so than Roger Moore's. And Roger Moore's were just goofy nonsense, and I like the goofy nonsense.
Yeah, see, I give the old ones credit just based off misogyny alone. Like seeing Sean Connery like just like dancing with a chick, and he sees someone about to shoot him, so he puts her in the way of the bullet. That was hilarious to me. Without a second thought, she just becomes a meat shield automatically.
I remember, I don't know which movie it was, but one of the Bonds, like in the reflection in the woman's eyes, sees the guy coming up behind him, so he spins around.
What kind of drugs was she on that he was able to see that reflection? Those pupils must have been fucking huge.
That's how stupid the movies were, and that's why I love them.
After that,
Like,
we have Banshee.
Was he talking to like an anime girl?
Ban-sama.
I didn't realize there were waifus in the Bond universe.
Let's see, number 9, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wait, do they mean Indian, like India Indians?
I said Native Americans.
Yeah, but do they know the difference?
Well, apparently Short Round's in there, so apparently they know a Korean when they see one.
Hey, even a VCR is right twice a day.
Oh, here we are. Wonder Woman.
How?
Once again. I'll take
the one Indian dude. Okay, yeah. What happened to your people? His people.
Yeah.
That makes it like what was the name of this list again? The top 10.
Let's see. The most popular Native American movies and TV shows.
Go fuck yourself.
Let's see. Number 11, The Revenant. Which I haven't seen, so I can't really say.
All I know is that apparently Leonardo DiCaprio gets his ass eaten by a bear. Other than that, I don't know about Indians and whatnot. That's like Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio's in it. That's all I know. I haven't seen it either.
There's a gentleman, Mela Naheko. Nakekeho.
So pretty much they're just finding any movie where like there's
at least one
Asian person
or one partially native person. Here we go. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, okay, but I mean, are we gonna put The Longest Yard on there too? They had an Indian.
I think
Granted, he was in prison, but he was an Indian.
I think if they voted for Elizabeth Warren, that's close enough. They can be on the list.
Ooh.
How many more on this list are there? Because I thought it was like a top 10 list, but you said number 11.
It's 50. It's a 50.
Whoa.
50.
But I'm not going through all 50.
Okay.
At this rate, I think we should because we had to find it.
I'm going for one that I can actually that I see no native people in it.
I mean, you'd figure you'd have like "Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee" or some shit in the top 10 at least. At least.
No, okay. The only one that actually
All we've got so far is Koreans, white people, and Graham Greene. That's it.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, hell, they haven't even thrown Iron Eyes Cody in here yet.
Oh my god! Like True Grit is on here, and they don't even have one native actor.
Now we talking
The new one.
Oh, the new one. See, I like that one better. I'm gonna say. My dad argues with me on that one constantly because he's a big John Wayne fan. I like that one okay, but you know.
It was a well done remake.
Well, I mean, it focused the story on the girl, which is what the story was about, instead of Rooster Cogburn. With the that's the problem I had with the original. It's like, okay, you're making it all about Rooster Cogburn. That's not his story. He's just a part of it.
Predator. Okay.
One Indian gets killed by an alien. And that dude was dumb enough to like cut his chest open and shit. God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's next?
The Terror, which is about an internment camp for the Japanese.
All right, if Crazy Rich Asians shows up on this list, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Wind River. There we go. That's got to have some native people.
That sounds at least kind of native.
Watch, it just takes place in a place called Wind River. Just so happens to have been named by a native tribe.
It is the one with Jeremy Renner in it.
Oh, so that's a wait. That movie's like what, a year old? 2?
3.
Like, didn't that come out like after? It came out before Endgame. Okay.
And guess what? Graham Greene.
Huh?
And
so
let's see another one.
So this is just a list of Graham Greene movies and Graham Greene lookalikes and
actually
Asians.
There are quite a few of native people in this movie.
Oh.
They actually got more than one person. And
They probably called Graham Greene's like, "Hey man, you got any cousins?"
And
or
it's not the Graham Greene show.
Any in-laws, extended family that could come down to the set for a couple days.
And then we got Dances with Wolves, which clearly, yeah, I got it. Avatar.
That didn't make it in the top 10. I'm surprised.
That's 18.
Didn't even make the top 15. Holy shit!
And then my boy Adam Beach is in Joe Dirt, number 19.
Actually,
Are you?
I really liked Joe Dirt. A lot of people shit on it, but I thought it was a decent movie. I liked it. It made me laugh.
All right, can we put this on pause for 1 second? I'll be right back. I want to hear the rest of this list, but I one moment.
Well, while he's calming down, I'm assuming. Yeah, I have to agree, Terry. That's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a Native American movie, but I mean.
Oh God, no.
No, but I'm just talking. I mean, I have no idea which actors are Native American and which ones aren't. I couldn't even speculate. I have no idea. But just in terms of the movie as a movie, I liked Joe Dirt. I was entertained by it.
The character that Adam Beach plays is Kickin' Wing. He's the guy that sells the lame fireworks. But yeah, he's the only native guy in that movie.
Okay, I'm back. Fucking Joe Dirt, really? Okay, David Spade should not appear on a 50 favorite list anywhere.
That's 50 favorite David Spade movies.
Kicking Wing, that's his name. That's right.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have number 20, Blazing Saddles.
Okay, that one I'll accept.
The horse was native, the one that got punched out.
Well, I mean, you also have Mel Brooks in a war bonnet and war paint.
In fact, he is the
He's the mascot for our Discord server. So, which reminds me, I'll go ahead and I'll drop that link into the chat. Why? That should not expire in one day. Well, get it while it's hot, folks, because apparently this link is not going to last long. So.
Yeah, there's Twilight Part 2. Let's see. Once Upon a Time in the West. Okay.
Okay, the name sounds familiar, but I don't remember that movie. Who's in that?
Amarius Straight. It's a Sergio Leone movie. So.
So it's a spaghetti western. Okay.
Yeah. Henry Fonda.
So
Charles Bronson.
An Italian movie with two white dudes. Fucking hell.
Let's see. Oh, 2012.
Because of the Mayans? The John Cusack movie 2012?
Yes.
Where the fuck is this list?
That's what I want to know. Where the fuck is this list?
Like, I'm not seeing it on the IMDb homepage. Where did you find this shit, Johnny?
Right there. 24. Transformers: The Last Night.
Oh, for crying out fucking loud.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shit.
Close these out.
Yeah,
this isn't just 50 long. This is the first page is 50 long.
Oh, yeah. There's like 2,000.
This is going to be a long stream. Okay, what number are we up to?
Well, we were 20 something, weren't we?
We're on 25, which is the Deer Hunter.
Alright.
So white guys in Vietnam?
Well, this guy's name is John Savage, so I don't really know what's going on with that, but
Close enough.
Oh, hey, Camel. What was that movie? What movie you were saying earlier? You were surprised wasn't on this list.
Surprise wasn't?
Yeah. It wasn't Free Willy, was it?
Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee.
Number 83.
Free Willy?
Yeah.
Holy shit, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a number 33.
A fucking video game! A video game where you play a white guy. Oh my god. Natural Born Killers
Actually,
is 32.
One of your closest associates is a native dude. So it's a...
One of your closest associates, not you.
That's true.
Superman is number 31.
Sausage Party, number 35.
That's obvious because they had pretty much every fucking race in there, race and religion.
Night at the Museum, the Ben Stiller comedy, is number 36.
Oh yeah.
Wait, do they have Sacagawea in that one, or was that number 2?
I think they had that one in one.
Okay, so yeah, the wax figurine of a dead woman is that's yeah.
Another
Legends of the Fall. That's a decent enough movie. I mean, and it does have
Brad Pitt's wife is a native.
Yeah, and also the guy working for Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. Number 44.
So,
Cowboys and Aliens.
okay, check this. The Car, 1977. The Car. A small desert town is terrorized by a powerful, seemingly possessed car, and the local sheriff may be the only one who can stop it.
And there is one native guy in there.
Oh my God! We got to tell Scribe about this. Cold Pursuit is number 39. The Liam Neeson Mr. Plow movie is on the list of. It's in the top 50 for Native American movies.
Apparently, a movie called Vampires Suck is 98.
Yeah. Same reason as Twilight, though, I would imagine.
Con Air is number 42.
Oh, yeah.
They set one. Dave Chappelle sets one Indian on fire in that movie. That's number 42, folks. Fucking Dave Chappelle sets an Indian on fire.
So Pocahontas is 51.
Mm-hmm.
The Ridiculous Six.
Oh, wow.
An Adam Sandler Netflix comedy.
Yeah.
I am going to go to the end of the list.
I've been trying to do.
I actually cancelled my Netflix account because I realized that I was never watching anything on it.
Did we already mention that Pocahontas is 51?
Terry
Yeah,
just did.
Okay. I'm sorry, I missed that. Walker, Texas Rangers, 52. Well, I mean, at least that's somewhat accurate. That was he is part Indian, and they did really push that in the show.
They're going for more episodes now at the end of the list. Oh, here's one. The Joe Rogan Experience.
What number? What
You're
number is
shitting
that?
me.
Barry Weiss.
She's Jewish!
What number on the list was Joe Rogan?
18 going from the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
So I would guess about 2,400 and some.
Yeah.
Here's one. Number 296, Lightning Jack.
Oh my fucking God, dude. Elizabeth the Golden Age. A story about Queen Elizabeth.
Here's the Bullwinkle show.
The Call of Cthulhu.
The Doors.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, I'm still at like page 2 of the list. Capote? Truman Capote. What? August Osage County. Well, I mean, that was, it's based in Oklahoma, written by an Oklahoman, but that as far as I know, that play and that movie have nothing to do with Native Americans.
I'm trying to get out of
Giant. The fucking James Dean movie, Giant. Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, James Dean. How the fuck? And right underneath that one, 48 Hours. Wayne's World 2. Them making fun of Jim Morrison is... Oh my God.
Alright, I'm trying to get out of stuff that's like episodes. How about just like regular movies?
Without a paddle.
Ranting Monkey.
What?
What?
Renting
number?
Monkeys right here. Number 112. Going backwards. How,
112 from the bottom?
Yeah. How the whole media got the Covington Catholic Native American story wrong.
9.
Damn.
So a white guy talking about... well, no, monkey is part native. I forgot.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, that's more Native American than Joe Dirt. A fucking Twilight spoof is number 98. I think somebody pointed that out earlier too.
Yeah, Terry.
Cat Baloo. This is The Prophecy. Okay, that does have some Native Americans in it. I think that's also fucking Navajo or Pueblo or one of them. SLC Punk is one of... God, I hate that movie. I hate that movie so bad. Seven-year Marilyn Monroe movie. Okay, god damn it. And there's fucking Nicolas Cage in Wind Talkers. Fucking Navajo.
Oh wow, IMDb doxes Monkey.
Oh no.
What?
I'm not kidding. If you know the one Johnny said about how the whole media got the Covington Catholic Native American story wrong, writer, it's listed as his real name, and then in parentheses it's got as Ranting Monkey.
Oh.
Shit.
Maybe we
Oh,
should
wow.
let him know. Maybe we should let him know that.
Well, he already knows his docs is out there, but
I know,
yeah,
but
does he know that it's on IMDb?
yeah, I think we should let him know.
That is wild.
He's still streaming.
I'll send him a DM. He can check it when.
Oh, you guys gonna... Okay, then I won't send. We could all send him one. Hey.
Well, if someone else is sending him one, I won't bother, so I'm good. Plus, it's always 50-50 if he'll read one of mine.
He usually doesn't.
Depends on what it is for me.
I
So-
very rarely ever message him, but he usually does get back to me.
Yeah.
That is fucking wild, dude. Like I knew it was out there, you know, when he told everyone, but I had no interest in finding it. But shit, how often are we on IMDb, Johnny?
All the time.
Right?
I knew he was on there, but I didn't realize they had his name out there.
Well, aren't we on IMDb too?
We are on there.
I know that I'm on there, but like my name is obvious. Della Hayes, I think, is under the name Della Hayes. It's not under his real name.
Yeah.
You are under the Hate Camel.
Yes.
I am, because I just typed it in and I didn't get any results.
Did you put the in?
The Hate
Yeah.
Camel.
Yeah, I'm still getting no results found. I put it in all together, spaces.
Okay.
Here you
Number
go. There's De La Hayes.
2,404 out of 2,405 list is The Bullwinkle Show.
There's De La Hayes.
Yep.
It's because hate camel is the word HATE rather than
Oh, somebody fucked up. Okay.
That's why you didn't find it.
Somebody was just listening. They weren't watching the screen.
Seriously? No one was going to play the clip?
And there's...
So should I go ahead and add a bio or some trivia or something for this?
You wanna?
Why not? I mean, I haven't got anything on mine, but
And there's
I'm
me.
not.
As donor.
Oh. Well, we need to get you on Monkey in the Morning so that way we can upgrade you to guest. You can be a voice actor instead of just a donor.
I have been on Monkey in the Morning, and I'm still only listed as a donor, so
So
it's not very well maintained.
I'm not even listed as a donor, and I've been on Monkey in the Morning, and I've donated.
Yeah. So it's not very up to date because it says I've only been on Minions once.
That's hilarious though. I can tell people like, oh, are you on IMDb? No, I am. Check it out. I'm
It
famous,
says-
y'all. I'm internet famous.
I've got 3 credits: 2 for donating to Monkey in the Morning, and 1 for being on Minions. Needless to say, I've donated to Monkey more than once, and I've been on Minions more than once.
Mhm.
So this is one of the a member of the community that is not spurgy enough to keep accurate records.
He's enough
Um,
to start the fire, but not fan the flame.
Well, I know, what's his name? Steven Sperling, something like that. He was the one who was updating it, and then I think he just stopped, and then no one took up the role in his absence because he used to be the one that was just updating everything, and then yeah, I guess he just lost interest or something. But yeah, no one seems to have picked up his slack.
Well, someone's been updating. Here's Blind Press. From last year. Here's
It's
Prospero.
The thing is, I mean, I knew Monkey's middle name because Gutenberg accidentally doxed that, which was pretty funny.
You know, they
His-
really
he
did
was-
get a lot of good pictures with you guys.
Huh?
The pictures that they use are not really all that appealing
For what?
for the stills that they're using for everyone.
Oh,
I'm not seeing a picture for me. So
Here's one.
Same.
Here's one from when De La Haye had the GIF of Quiz dancing.
oh.
Let's
But no, Johnny Hellcat has no picture available.
what, are we talking about Johnny, or we're talking about the actor Johnny Hellcat? Wasn't there somebody on IMDb that was also under the name Johnny Hellcat?
Oh, under
Yeah,
the Minions of the
he's,
Zoo still. Gotcha, okay.
and then,
I think we've probably devolved far enough, gentlemen. It's about 1:30 in the morning here.
yeah, we're
Now we're just looking ourselves up on IMDb while a couple of people play video games and listen to us in the background.
And we furthered Monkey's docs by mistake by telling everyone that it's on IMDb.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I didn't do it.
Well,
and
I was just too shocked. Like I was like, this shouldn't be like public information, should it?
I wouldn't
So,
think
yeah.
so.
Oh well, I
That's-
sent you a DM saying, look, your full name is on IMDb. I don't know if there's anything you can do about it, but I figured you should be aware of it at the least.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We're at 2.5.
Yeah, we've bitched about Indians.com and IMDb long enough, I think.
And Walmart.
But it's been fun as always, guys. Is there anything we need to say before we go?
Fuck Chuck.
Hashtag fuck Chuck. Indeed.
Yeah, Walmart's.
I want to see that one trending better than Get Dressed for Jesus. I really do.
And as always, hashtag like the like. I mean, there's 7 watching and 7 likes, so I'm assuming everyone already has, but just in case.
I just want to point out that I like the fact that Johnny put my head on Robert Downey Jr., given the peace sign. I appreciate that. Thank you. But I also like to point out that anybody who's been paying careful attention to the different slides on screen, you'll notice that Johnny always makes me the black guy. I'm not saying he's a racist. I'm just saying I'm seeing a trend here.
I'm saying the most of the times I ask you which character you want to be, you pick the black guy.
Well, I'm just gonna say I don't know that you're not black. I've only got your word for it that you're native.
Well, I for a fact don't know that I'm not black either. There's a chance that I could be blacker than Sean King, which I know that's not a very high bar, but
Milk is blacker than Sean King, so you know.
So I mean, if people want to accept his story that his mama went off and fucked a black dude and he came out pasty pale, I'm sure I could find someone down the line in my family like maybe.
Did you see the fake picture of Tariq Nasheed adding Sean King to the list people pretending to be black?
That's no, I didn't see that, but I'm surprised that it would be fake.
Well, I'm just assuming it's fake. I don't think Tariq Nasheed would actually have, add Sean King to that list. But
I mean, I could see it. I could see him doing that. I haven't been following Tariq, so I don't know.
No, me neither.
Every now and then he pops up on my feed, and I get a good laugh, but...
and then he goes off to wash your ass. So.
But no, you want to see about trying to get a stream together next week when you're off, Johnny?
Yeah.
See if we can find some guests for a game stream, or maybe get someone in for a powwow, or what's that other thing we do?
Torture.
You guys are supposed to act like you didn't know, but you know.
Well, he was taking too long. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got enough of those packed away that we should get some guests and try and knock some of those out.
Yeah,
there are some doozies in there.
Our playlist is building up.
Yeah, we got to quit slacking on that. Because we started off with a list 3 years ago, and I don't think we ever finished that list either.
Yeah.
I think we just started finding shit as we went. Like, oh, what about this one?
Well, then we realized it wasn't just centered around Netflix. It was spreading.
Yeah, it's the cancer is spreading, folks. Netflix, Amazon, it's everywhere. But yeah, I'll see if I can wrangle some guests for one of those. What we need to do at some point in time is we need to test out one of those Civilization streams. I think we all got Civ 6, right?
Yes. Yeah. I still haven't played it, but I do have it, and it's installed.
I have also not played it, and I do have it installed.
Okay. I have played it, and I do have it installed, so I have the advantage. Haha!
Well, that was... I was thinking that would be the kind of the gimmick, is that like Johnny and I have no fucking idea what we're doing, and then we're going up against you,
who also has no idea what the fuck he's doing, because that game is so much different than the last one.
Right?
Oh my god! I started playing. I was like, I don't remember Civ 5 being. I reinstalled Civ 5 just so I could see like what was different, and it's everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I also have it. I also have played it. I just have to re-download and install it.
As long as the advisors still tell you what to do, I'll just follow their advice and see how far that gets me.
As long as I'm not the first person out, I think I'll call that a win.
I think your odds are pretty safe on that.
But yeah, and what did they say you could? How many players did they say you could have? Like, it was in the double digits, wasn't it?
I saw.
I think so.
It allows 14 online.
14. Yeah, definitely see if we can get scheduling together. I know Kyler's been playing it. Jake has been playing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we can get everyone's schedules together, maybe we could see about getting like at least the 6 of us together, and that would provide. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be like people talking over each other with 6. Maybe at least the 4 of us, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We can always try it out with 4, and then if we want to, see about expanding it afterwards.
If it goes, or if it goes quickly, like if we get somebody knocked out pretty fast, we're like, all right, well, let's see about throwing somebody else in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you can all take your turn simultaneously, and then
cool.
And then it just waits for the last person to end their turn.
Yeah, because you can
Oh.
preset commands that'll start when your turn goes, or have things going for multiple turns and stuff like that too. So
People are gonna get so pissed when like, oh, that's gonna be fun.
So,
That's
it'd
funny.
be better than going one person at a time. Like,
yeah,
Well, I'm just thinking, it's like as soon as like we all hit in turn or whatever, and you planned on them to zig and they zag, and you can't do anything about it. That's gonna be interesting.
yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. I gotta take these hounds out at least one more time tonight. So
Alright.
I'll
it's
have
been
to
fun.
show you something before you take off, though.
say what?
I gotta show you something before you take off
Oh, okay.
after the stream.
All right, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, yeah. Thanks for showing up, you guys. Thanks for running chat.
Oh, wait a second. Cynic has a question for you, Terry. Before we get out of here.
No, I didn't hear what Monkey said. I've been on this stream. I haven't been listening to Monkey in the morning. I have no idea what he said.
Yeah, Cynic, give us the news real fast because I've had the stream up, but it's been muted also. So
Same.
I'm gonna go back and listen to it later.
Okay.
Okay, he already knew. Cool. I knew it was out there. I just didn't know where. So.
Right.
All right, play us off, Johnny.
All right. And in that case, we'll do this again.
Yes.
That's lame. I don't have fireworks now.
Good night, comrades.
Good night.
See you, everyone.
Bye.